good showings at tournaments. But here we are, back in the game on Akalon Waste Flats District, whatever it's called.
Alright, so this time the drones are mining right on time and are being built right on time for Snitchables as well, so no freeze occurring there as far as I can see. And yeah, all that happened was they basically exchanged spawn locations. Strelok not going for a proxy. Because this is quite a long map, it's a long distance to your opponent, so you pretty much have to send the SCV building the proxy before you, slightly before you build the depot, so it can get there on time.
And as we can see, if you click on the SCV, it's rallied to that point, so it looks like it's just going to be a straight up racks, but it is 11 racks, so we should see the gas get added on there. This is the same build identically to the one he done against Oak, but Underdark, being very safe and wary of his opponent, is going for the drone scout, and we'll see what's going on, so he will be able to react accordingly.
He will indeed, he will see the gas, he will not get blocked in yet. That will not happen for at least the next 15 seconds or so. And once he sees the gas and sees the timing by clicking on it, of course, which, didn't click on it, but he has to know what's up. So he is going to know exactly what is happening. Again, we see a gas before pull, going for that rather quick speed. Defensive speed, no less, but it's good to have that upgrade on your links as fast as possible. Helps against a ton of stuff I found.
It really does, and it opens up some extra things as well. Like if you see an attack coming, you produce a lot of zerglings and you stomp it, for example. The counterattack is going to be so much faster if you have speed. And that comes into play a lot of the time because the Zerg counterattacks are very hard to deal with because they're just instant near enough. We do have the first Reaper now, popping second one, of course, soon to be joining it. And I don't think Snitchables will take that much damage. He is mining gas, and we saw Orc go for the 4 queens, so that is obviously not what's coming out of Snitchables. And this is something that's completely standard so far, so we're just so used to it. Command center soon to be dropped at the natural, so this is standard build. And these drones on a rally point towards the natural. One will go down, very nice unit control. Tries to get the surround, but will not, and a second drone will go down. Ooh, nice spine caller.
Now, all of this is delaying the speed, of course, for Snitchables, but he has more pressing concerns at this time. Now with the Zerglings out, he has enough of free APM to actually get that speed going. With 2 Reapers here, it is going to be moderately more difficult for Snitchables to take as few losses as possible. And a third one is on the way, and that's it. Strelok is going to stop there, just with 3 Reapers. That's the exact amount you need to be 2-shotting every single harvester. And this is exactly the same build he was, as far as the progression of building goes, that he's been showing us in his TVZs for the longest time, following with a expansion, a factory, and a reactor, and a second gas.
And if we look at the game against Orc, he actually, remember, he went like 6-7 Hellions with the Reapers, and got a couple of queens. Of course, there's not as many queens for him to pick off, but also Snitchables' creep is going to be very limited in comparison to the game we saw with Orc as well, so very interesting. So far the build is pretty much identical against Orc.
Yeah, the second factory going down as well, Tech Lab being added onto the barracks.
More Zerglings. And they're staying in the main.
Yeah, and they are. And right now they are moving out on the map just as the speed finishes. Oh my god, Snitchables, I love you. Thank you for not using that stupid skin on the Zerglings. Makes it so hard to read the game.
Alright, there is a Widowmine behind this bunker, so if a lot of Zerglings go for the surround, they could...
They will get killed. Oh, okay, the Widowmine gets only 2 kills. The rest of the Zerglings were too far away from the one the Widowmine targeted, so...
He's got rid of it. He should have ejected the Reapers to protect them. They do get surrounded as the bunker goes down. There are 2 Hellions on the high ground, but a few SCV kills will be happening. And so far, this Zergling aggression is really working out. So for
yeah, this did tons more than it necessarily had to. And you know, the key thing in here basically was that Widow Mine exploded on the closest Zergling to it.
Yes.
And all the rest of the Zerglings were too far away, but now there's a huge meaty hit taking out all the rest of the Zerglings. Now, I bet Snitchables wasn't expecting that to happen, but he's got his third on the way, and we have Blue Flame. So we see Strelok switching it up a little bit. This is the first time I see him using this upgrade in this matchup.
Definitely so, and of course, maybe he's a bit scared of what, how many Zerglings he just saw. So he, Hellions themselves do very good against Zerglings. With the Blue Flame, they do even better. And, he's not producing it out of any... Oh, there we are, finally, out of the factory with the tech lab. But this is going to just be like 12, 14 Hellions, and he's going to just go for a massive run-by.
Yeah, let's look at what defense do we have for
Snitchables. Just now being chucked down, so he is not going to have it. One Zergling did spot it, which is, of course, very important for our Zerg player.
Yeah, but that's an awful lot of Hellions, and one Spinecrawler here, no Spinecrawlers in the main, no wall-offs, nothing.
And Blue Flame is now revealed. The Queen on the ramp, stopping them going up. They could have actually went up there, and they're still fighting. I don't really agree with this from the Hellions.
Yeah, they should just skimmer past and go for the drones. This is exactly what they're going to do.
Snitchables has to pull his drones. The Hellions go around the wrong side of the hatchery. They should have just run straight into the mineral line, but they will still get a crap ton of kills. Zerglings pop in. Roach Warren is now complete, but no roaches being added in. And so far, there were 10 worker kills.
Well, I have to say, Snitchables is defending this really, really nicely. He took absolutely minimal losses off of this attack. This was a really nice defense behind this double armory being built. Strelok is looking to go mech again, third command center. So he bought himself a lot of time with this. Roach speed, Glial reconstitution on the way for Snitchables, and despite taking that 10 drone hit from Strelok, they are still even on harvesters, which puts the Terror mildly ahead, but considering Snitchables is on 3 bases, and he's going to be in he's going to be playing a pretty even game as far as economy goes. Now, Hellbat's production has started, tank production has started.
Double armory.
And double armory, so...
An SCV stuck behind them.
A what?
SCV. The SCV stuck behind the armories. It's locked in there. I feel so sorry for
poor SCV.
SCVs when that happens. But you're right, Snitchables is going to have to drone pretty hard just to get ahead, or back to where he was. That wasn't the absolute best of trades for Strelok. I think he should just, maybe a 5-5 or 6-6 split into the mineral and into the main instead of fighting the queens would have been a bit better. But yeah, that was very interesting. Now the creep is denying the third base, and there are a lot of Zerglings and stuff running down here to try and deal with this. The Widow Mines, if they blow up on the Overlord, the units that come in from behind will be okay to just run up and do some damage. There are Hellbats, which of course do the splash damage. One tank getting targeted down, the next tank will get targeted down as well. It is siege, that leaves just Hellbats, but of course a lot of splash damage was just done to the roaches, so the Hellbats doing okay. Oh, and a Thor.
A Thor just popped up, but that is just one Thor versus roaches. But the army presence Snitchable has here is really, really, really small, and he cannot ever hope to mass more units at this part of the map. So he's trying to do as much damage with this roaches as possible. He is producing more though, which is not. I don't think this is a good move, but I'm not going to argue with a way better player than I am, especially since I don't play Zerg. But yeah, the critical thing was all the tanks were taking out.
They're running into the natural. The rocks just getting taken out at the third, so that was the right call. And there are still 2 Thors, and one Thor is going to get targeted down. The SCV is coming preemptively to try and repair it, and they will save it, definitely. The Widow Mine does get taken out, and the Overseer will get taken out as well. So, even SCV's coming off trying to fight, and with some nice micro.
I don't blame Strelok for pulling SCVs, because all he has are 2 Thors and a tank, and more roaches are, from his point of view, more roaches keep coming in. Switchables, he's just producing as many as he can from time to time, not really overcommitting to it, partly because he's supply blocked a little bit. With 2 Thors on 1-1, Strelok is going to eventually clean this up, but his harvester count suffered a moderate hit and another swing into the 3rd base. I think Snitchables will just start pulling Strelok left and right with this few numbers of units that he has. He's going to have a lot of trouble covering this wide of a space.
Yeah, and Strelok hasn't. He's brought his SCVs from the 3rd base into the main, but the command center is being targeted. SCVs are popping, but there's no rally point, so they just get killed off as soon as they do. Behind this, though, it's really important to note that actually Snitchables has 0 larvae. He's focusing so hard on microing, he's not injecting. He hasn't injected for quite... Oh, okay, now he's got his first injects in a couple of minutes being dropped, so he has a big swarm of larvae, and what will he produce with them? He actually produces a Spire, and I think he's going to produce some drones, probably, as he's... Ooh, no, 13 roaches. So he's continuing this aggression, and it's going to start becoming cost inefficient, as, of course, you know, we have four tanks, a lot of Hellbats.
Yeah, this small moment of not attacking Strelok and not taking out his units actually is what will make the follow-up aggression inefficient, because that has given Strelok enough time to produce more tanks and mass up a little bit. I know it may not seem like much, but having 4 tanks instead of just 1 and 2 Thors instead of just 1 is a big deal. And these roaches, once those tanks start firing, remember their DPS is pretty high when unsieged. Those roaches will have to retreat. But here's the thing: 7 mutas about to go out, and
nice.
There are 2 Thors, so unless the Thors spread out, you can magic box over the 2 of them at once. Nice. If you take those out, those tanks are goners as well. Yeah,
and some Zerglings. Now, like I said before, you know, the injects weren't really going down, so there is a big bank and not very many larvae. The Thors were in moving, so they don't actually fire straight away, and this will get cleaned up easily as the last Thor does go down. Of course, tanks and Hellbats cannot attack air, so this does get held. A very nice play so far from Snitchables. He could be doing better, but of course so could Strelok. And the only thing at the moment is just the injects, which is really hurting him. You know, he could have a macro hatch, and you know, he's got a Queen coming at his 4th base as the base does finish. And you know, harvester-wise, he's at 65, 66 over 63 to his opponent. So economically speaking, he's not that far ahead. And this last Thor.
Compared to the previous game, the Muta switch worked rather well, but it is not going to work this game. Strelok even put down an engineering bay long before the lair even finished, and now Snitchables is losing all of those Mutas, so not even killing that one Thor thanks to the repair of the SCVs. But look at the amount of harvesters he's killed. 42 SCVs killed, and still Strelok is at 60.
Yeah, the amazing thing is well, Strelok is at 140 supply. So Snitchables, like, it got to a point where his pressure done a good job, and then he kept committing to it, and unfortunately started to lose resources. You know, Strelok stabilized, has this pretty potent army. He has 4 Thors, which is, you know, quite nice. Everything on the ground should get melted, and the Thors should be able to deal with everything in the sky. So I think, okay, he's actually just going for the 4th base, so I don't. That'll give Snitchables enough time to build enough units to protect his main, you know, 3rd and stuff like that.
And there are not that many drones in that base neither, so it's not like he's taking a huge hit to his economy. But losing a base is hard in either case. Now, Snitchables going for the counterattack. Oh, I don't really know. I mean, it's not like this army is super fast, so Strelok, even if he sees the counterattack, he's just going to break down these rocks, take out the natural, the now building hive, and he will be in such a good position. And now Snitchables realizes that there's just too many units to defend. He has to go back, but it's already too late.
The Zerglings do get into the 3rd base though and get a few SCVs, but you know that counterattack allowed Strelok to take out the rocks and siege up and get position in at the natural. It looks like it will just get cleaned up. The anti-air, of course, there's 2 Thors, enough mutas to clean them up. The Hellbats are doing some damage to the hive, which is a bit interesting, and they do a good amount of damage. This could go down.
Well, the mutas end up cleaning everything up, and those Hellbats will die as well. Again, Snitchables did not incur that many drone losses, but with those Hellbats moving into the base below, that could change. But the drones, of course, are faster than Hellbats, so that's the one disadvantage of having the Hellbats instead of Hellions. And this is a tough game to call. Strelok definitely in this game, as well as Snitchables, but now Snitchables has to produce a lot of drones. He just does not have enough of them.
Mutas fly into the Thors, they get stacked. There are more mutas, but there's still 3 Thors, which is quite a lot against 7 mutas.
Yeah.
Transferring drones get picked off, and I think we're going to see GG any second.
Yeah, we are. This time the mutas will not save the day. I was just about to say that Switchables needed to re-establish his economy, whereas he needed army units more than drones, but he needed both, and that's the dilemma you're solving always as a Zerg, and just not enough time.